going? It's Michael from Lean Body Lifestyle, and I'm back, not in the kitchen today. I'm actually downstairs in my basement because I bought this whiteboard, as you guys can see, to hopefully answer some questions that I get all the time, mostly frequently asked questions that have to do with dieting. Now, probably one of the biggest questions that I get when I get messages on Facebook, Twitter, or even on YouTube is how many calories should I be eating a day? Alright, so before you even start to figure out your number for how many calories you should eat a day, I want you to know what your goal is. And by that I mean, do you want to lose weight, do you want to gain weight, or do you just want to stay the exact same, not gain or not lose any weight, which is maintain your current weight. Now, if you want to lose weight, as you guys can see, you need to eat at what we call a caloric deficit. Now that is where you will eat less calories in a day than you typically burn. Now, to gain weight or bulk up, as you guys can see here, you need to eat at a caloric surplus, and that is where you're going to eat more than you burn in one day, and maintain is obviously where you eat just as many calories as you're burning in a day. So what we're going to do right now is cover the principle of calories in versus calories out, which that is what weight loss and weight gain comes down to at the end of the day. Now, as you guys can see here, pretend this is a scale. I know I'm not very good at drawing, but you guys can kind of get the idea. And right now, this scale that I've drawn is actually balanced out. And by that I mean each side is equal. The calories in weigh the same as the calories out. Now that is going to maintain your current weight. Now people will say, what about weight loss or weight gain? Now let me go ahead and illustrate that for you guys. So in this illustration, as you guys can see, the calories in weighs more than the calories out. And that basically means that this person right here that is gaining weight is eating more calories in a day than they're burning. And this right here is weight loss. As you guys can see, the scale has basically just flipped to where we're taking in less calories than we're burning. The second part of this is we're going to talk about basal metabolic rate, or BMR for short. Now what that is the amount of daily energy expended at rest. So if you were just doing absolutely nothing in a day, this is the bare minimum of calories you should be eating just to keep your vital organs functioning, because you do need calories to have your body function correctly. Now, how do you figure out your own basal metabolic rate? There is a formula to figure it out, but I think the easiest way to do it, especially if you're not very good at math, is just to use a BMR calculator, and there will be a link to that in the description for you guys to check out. Alright, so hopefully you guys went down to the description, calculated your basal metabolic rate. Now I went ahead and did the same thing for a made-up person, and these are all things that you will actually enter into the BMR calculator if you haven't done that yet. So for today's example, what we're going to do is we're going to take a 20-year-old male that weighs 170 pounds. You're going to enter that into the BMR calculator, and you're going to get roughly 1900 calories. I rounded down a couple calories just so we have cleaner numbers for today's demonstration. And now what we're going to do is figure out the activity factor, because remember, the BMR is how many calories you just need at rest if you weren't doing anything. But most of us are active from day to day. We have jobs, we go to school, and we are active somewhat, so we need to factor that in as well. There's 5 different classifications, as you guys can see here. I'm going to talk about one just a little bit for a couple seconds so you guys have some idea on how to classify yourself at home. Now the first one is sedentary. That means you don't really do much from day to day. You just kind of mope around the house and you don't really work out at all. The second one, as you guys can see, is lightly active. Now a lightly active person might work out 1 time a week or up to 3 times a week. So if that's you, you would be in the lightly active category. The third classification would be moderate. That means you work out for 3 days a week or 5 days a week, somewhere in between there. That means you're pretty serious about working out. You know, you work out every other day or so. And if that's you, you'd be moderate. Alright, so moving on to number 4 would be the active category. And that means you work out from probably 6 days a week to 7 days a week. So that means you're probably a pretty active person. You don't like to miss working out a day. And if that's you, you'd be in the active category. Alright, now let's say you are one of those people that has a job that requires you to be in pretty good shape. And by that I mean, let's say you have a job where you're a delivery guy and you've got to pick up heavy packages all day, take them to someone's doorstep, get back in your car, and do that again for hours and hours. And then on top of your job, you're also working out, 6 to 7 days a week, you're very active, your work requires you to be active. When you're working out, obviously, you need to have a lot of fuel. Now, if you're one of those people, you would fall into the very active category. Now, if you guys remember the example that I did earlier of the 20-year-old male that weighs 170 pounds and what his basal metabolic rate is, that was 1900. So let's say our example today was moderately active. This person worked out 3 to 5 times a week. So to figure out how many calories he should eat a day just to maintain his current weight, what we would do is take 1900 and multiply it by 1.55. Okay, so as you guys can see here, I went ahead, showed you guys the math and the number that I came up with for our example today, and he needs to eat around 2,945 calories. We took his activity factor, his basal metabolic rate, and we got a final number. Now, you guys at home are probably asking yourself, what if I want to gain weight? What if I want to lose weight? I'll cover that right now. Okay, so hopefully you guys know this at home, but 1 pound of fat equals 3,500 calories. Now, as you guys remember earlier in the video when I talked about the food scale of calories in versus calories out, I said that to lose weight, this person needs to eat at a deficit. Now, a safe deficit, you don't want to go too extreme because you do need a certain amount of calories to function. So 500 is normally a good deficit. If you eat at a 500 calorie deficit, 500 times 7 equals 3,500 calories, and you'll be on track to lose 1 pound a week. That's safe weight loss right there. So that person would eat 500 less than what he is supposed to, and that would be his final number. Now, let's say he wanted to gain weight, so he would need to eat a surplus of calories. So what we would do, instead of subtracting 500 like we did right here, we would just add 500. And obviously, he would not lose any weight because he's eating more than he's supposed to. He would actually gain a pound a week. So this would be his number. And that's pretty much going to do it for this video, guys. So hopefully, I gave you a good idea. I know it was kind of a lot. This is the first video I've made with my new whiteboard. Let me know if you guys like this style of video, and I will definitely make some more. You can leave a thumbs up rating down below. That helps me out a ton. And also stop by my Facebook and Twitter and website. All of those links will be in the description. But really, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next video. Bye.